That is tough. Kei aku nui, kei aku rahi, anei rā, a haka feels.
Ours is make sure that everyone knows who we are.
Te whāinga matua, kia rangatira tutu, kia waganui tutu.
Hear my brother say, stop.
I want to win. I want to win.
Let's go! Anei a haka feels, te mihi atu nei.
E te iwi nau mai haere mai ki tēnei pāpāhotanga whakata Māori. Ka mihi ki ngā maunga, ngā wai me ngā ahika o tēnei rohe, tēnā koutou katoa. Ki ngā kaiwhakahaere me ngā kaiwhakataitai, he mihi mahana hoki ki a koutou. Welcome everybody into this Super 8 rugby match between New Plymouth Boys High School and Hamilton Boys High School. It's a pleasure for us to bring you this game today. We're stoked with the weather down there at the moment because on the other side of the island, or in the middle actually, we've got Rotorua playing Tauranga, and it doesn't look too good there, but we've got some fantastic weather. Ko ai ahau, ko Ethan Smith toku ingoa, he uri au no te tai tokerau, ka tipu au I te tai tokerau au ngari, ka noho au ki te uru o Tāmaki. We are stoked that we've got these two teams coming to you today because it's going to be a big matchup. Always is with these teams coming out. So stay tuned, and shortly we'll be bringing up the team lists. And we have New Plymouth Boys High School. We have Ratu at number 1. We have Nate at number 2. Samuel Graham, number 3. Brody Leicester at number 4. That's the vice captain. Number 5, Jai Mayer. Blake Nichols at number 6. Flynn Bryant, another vice captain. Number 7, Kay Davis. 8, Heath Sheehan. Number 9, Bastian Lalemand. Number 10, Zach Ravel. Number 11, Jermaine Mattock. 12, Wesley Ilisara. 13, Ode Wipiti Boylan is 14. 15, Benjamin Sinclair. 16, Cohen Dennis Whareaitu. 17, Jack Brady. 18, Eroni Kito. 19, Dominic Gray. 20, Taj Taonganga. 21, Jack Hurley. And 22, George Lequesne. And head coach is Chris Luke. That is your team from New Plymouth Boys High School. And from Hamilton Boys, we've got number 1, Mitch Matangi. Number 2, Hunter Hammond. 3, Masami Kawai. Number 4, Malakai Hala. Number 5, Campbell Bushell. 6, Kent Mills. 7, Tom Foote. That's the captain for you today. Number 8, Isaiah Edwards. 9, Carlos Nordstrom. 10, Patience Tuapola. Number 11, Carson Hunter. Cullen Parai. Number 12, Cyrus Mark. 13, Luke Phillips. 14, Jackson Botherway is 15. And in the substitutions, we have Dion Fifita at 16. Devita Halauafu, 17. Martine Kyo, number 18. Ethan Hyatt, 19. Mateo Cole, number 2. And Lucas Abraham in number 22. And the head coach there is Cam Warby. And very shortly, we will have our teams come out onto the pitch. E tahi o ngā kaupapa o te pāpāhotanga a whakata Māori ki a koutou. Ki te rongo I te reo Māori, no reira I tēnei rangi, ka kōrero e tahi o ngā kupu, hei whakamohe atu ki a koutou, hei whakaako I a koutou I ngā kupu Māori. E pāna ki tēnei hā kina o te whutupōro. So, what I was just talking about, if you are still learning te reo Māori, I was just mentioning that the reason Whakata Māori gets behind these sports is to bring a little bit more reo Māori to our whānau at home, so that they can, be involved, learn some more kupu. And so we'll start off with this shot here. We've got the papatakaro, or the playing field, and shortly they'll come out onto the playing ground here at New Plymouth Boys High School. It's a bit of a stronghold, as I've heard, for those ones that go and play in it, into that zone down there. especially when the haka resounds and reverberates in that little gully there. So Hamilton, obviously having to travel down a long way, will be given their all. I'm not too sure what the record is between Hamilton and New Plymouth Boys over the year, but for the last few years I've been following the Super 8. Usually Hamilton Boys seem to have just managed to get over the top, but New Plymouth Boys will be hoping to turn that around today. Now we're due to kick off at 1:40, so hopefully shortly we'll hear the rumbling of boots, and you will have those players coming down onto the field. In the coming weeks, Whakaata Māori looking forward to bringing you some of the coverage of our Māori All Blacks as well. And here we have the team from Kirikiriroa, or Hamilton, as other people may know it as, coming out onto our Papatakoro. And I'm not too sure how many games from Hamilton Boys you need to play before you get a cap, but we can see a number of them, and that just shows that those teams have a little bit more experience on their side when it comes to these matchups. And as we pan around to the left, and you see the lineup of New Plymouth Boys High School students welcoming in their players, and without doubt it's going to make and lift their energy levels. And once again, we can see now the rain just starting to come down. Te ua, koe rā te ingoa Māori, rain, ua. Te kai mai te ua, I runga I te Papatakoro nei. E ka rongo I ngā hūro o ngā kaitautoko. You can hear the cheers of our whānau that have come along and, you know, weathered this rain that's coming down on the playing pitch today. And as they line up, they'll be wanting to get straight into the action. But we'll let them get into their haka now, and we'll give them that respect. And there's a few of those caps that we spoke about earlier. And one of the trophies that's probably played for between these two teams. A lot of history often between the schools. And again, only a few caps. If at any time you wanted to give us a shout out, you can reach out to me, Ethan Smith NZ, on Instagram, and we can send you shout outs there to whānau that are watching. Let us know where you're watching from. And we'll go into ki te haka rongo ki ngā haka. Ka porohita tia te whānau o Kirikiriroa I naini. Fantastic effort there by the two teams facing off in the challenge. The Waikato Hani Wharau, koera te ingoa o tērā haka o ngā taitamatane o Kiriguroa. And it was good to see those other students get in behind New Plymouth Boys and try and lift their spirits. One of the benefits of playing on your home ground is you've got all those home ground supporters coming along, and when you can feel them, their presence behind you, pushing you forward, obviously helps a lot. Over the last few years, we've seen a surge in popularity of groups coming together in that circle formation before they start the haka. And as I watched one of the haka on Saturday just gone, one school started their haka and then the other school sort of went backwards and started circling up to start their own haka, and somebody asked me, what do I think about that? And in times in the past, you wouldn't turn your back to the opponents as they were doing a haka to you because they're giving you a challenge. And so that's not something that growing up I ever saw. So it's something that happens these days. As soon as you turn your back on your opponent, they could well come up and give you a little tickle up. So here we go into the action at Tefano. And receiving the ball down there, we have the young men from New Plymouth Boys. And as we progress today, we will try to get those names out to you as often as we can see the numbers. Obviously at this place in the field, a little bit hard to see those numbers on their backs. But that's a good clearing kick. And that number 8 there, Isaiah Edwards, finding a big gap through the middle of the defence. Mai ngā taitamatane o ngā motu. In the hands now of Carlos Nordstrom, the little number 9. Solid carry there. And carrying the ball, Malakai Hala. Over to Cyrus Mark with the carry. Feeding again. Nordstrom. And clearing the ruck effectively. Nordstrom spotting a hole. And a good carry there by Patience Tuapola. And to the big number 6, Kent Mills, right in front of the posts. And the ball is just popped through the middle of the number 9's feet. And some good progress made there by the boys from Hamilton Boys High School. But equal to the task was the New Plymouth Boys High School defence. Ka āraitia I tō rātou Rārangi Piro. Rārangi Piro, that's the try line. Piro being the try and Rārangi being the line. And as we go through today's games, we will give you a little bit more of those kupu. Number 9 feeding, that's Heath Sheehan from the New Plymouth Boys team, feeding to the scrum. And remember, whānau, we've only got one camera onto this action, so sometimes when that rain comes down, you might have to give us a little wipe, just so that we've got that clear, better to get a good clear view of the game. And for those that have just joined us, we are here in the New Plymouth Boys High School grounds in New Plymouth. So it's an away game for our Hamilton players. With the ball now is Hunter Hammond, I'd imagine. He's the hooker from Hamilton Boys. E rawe te peke out there a tama a Kent Mills. Rawe hoki te whakawāwāhi ngā ai kai ārai. Splitting through the defence there. And that's a good carry there by Tom Foote, the captain from Hamilton Boys. Strong carry again, making it each time over the advantage line. Ia te wā, ka tai atu ki te wāhi a ngā taitamatane o ngā motu, and they've done well to keep him held up there, but they drive well. And the Kaiwawao, the referee, has seen some infringement there. So it's a penalty called. And we'll look to see the decision. I'd say they're going to kick for the corner again. And that is number 15, Jackson Botherway, with ball in hand, finding the sideline. Te paitaha. Ka hiki nā te haki. Tērā Kaiwawao taha. And an unusual setup there on the line. We've got the number 9 at the front of the line out. So look for something interesting play on the go here. And picking it up is the number 8, Isaiah Edwards. And they're looking to set up a bit of a drive now. And exactly what they've got going, but it goes to the ground. Ka tau ki te papa. Ka pātai, te pei, te nama iwa. Te Kaiwawao. And anō ka pātai hia te pātai ki te Kaiwawao a ngā kaitākaro. Kaitākaro being players, Kaiwawao being your referee. Kei roto I te ringa Heath Sheehan te pōro I nai nei. And they're in a precarious position here, the New Plymouth Boys team. There's not too much of a wind out there that we can see from the flags on the sideline. So hoping it's an easy clearing kick. But hey, who knows? They might look to, they're looking to set themselves up in a better angle. And it was a good rip of the ball. And unfortunately unable to pull that one in. And so the lost forward by the New Plymouth Boys there. Ka taka Hakamua. Taka is to fall. Whakamua is forward. So fall forward or knock on. And it was a risky manoeuvre right out in front of the posts. The Hamilton boy just about ripped it clean. But often they go through that process to try and get a better angle for the clearance kick. Not much of a blind side here. And big scrum there by the New Plymouth Boys team. Great recycling of the ball there. Very quick. Goes for the long ball out. And that slippery condition on the ball, unable to pull it in. But they'll be happy with that result, New Plymouth, because hard to stop an attacking team that close. But both teams having to adjust to the slippery ball in these conditions. Once upon a time, I'd imagine this field would have been quite the wet spot in the middle of this gully. But with that AstroTurf out there nowadays, it can be played on all year round. As the number 9 feeds to his back line, first 5 receiver is Bastian Lelamund. Great tackle, but equally good offload there. And have they held him up? Have they done enough? Waiting for the ref to make the call. And they have done enough. Still camped down in the New Plymouth Boys end of the field, so they're going to have to work hard to get themselves clear now. Good strength shown by those forwards to hold up the man and not let him go to ground. Ka rea ia I tau ki te papa. Nō reira, kei a ngā motu, te pōro anō, kei a Heath Sheehan, te nama iwa. Big carry again to the middle of the field. And they'll look to clear now. And it hasn't quite found the sideline, so they're going to have the middle of the field run with the ball here. That's in the hands of the number 15, Jackson Bothaway. And the referees called it sealing off the ball. And so Hamilton will have the option. 9 minutes of the game gone so far. And they'll look to keep that pressure on ngā taitamatane o ngā motu, the boys from New Plymouth. And number 2 again, taking the ball in hand, Hunter Hammond that is, from the Hamilton boys feeding into the line-out. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to the back and they set up a bit of a drive here. Number 5, he's a big boy there. That's him, Campbell Bushell. Big carry off the back. And he nearly goes all the way. They're going to be hard to stop at this point, the Hamilton boys. And there we have it. Over the line goes Jackson Bothaway, an open pathway to the line. And we've noticed it in the last little while in the more senior teams. Kare e huroana te nuinga o rātou. Ka tau te poro, ki te wāhi piro. Ka hariru ki ona hoa, and then ka omatu ki o rātou taha anō. So after tries have been scored, there's not as much as a celebratory jump around as we have seen in the past. I feel like there's a few handshakes, pat on the back, and back to the game we go. Next job. And that takes its rima ki te kore. Bothaway. Light gusts out there today. And how does it fare? Slightly ki te taha matau. Taha matau being the right-hand side, slightly off to the right. He's going to have to recalibrate those sights if he gets another opportunity. Now, all the time that New Plymouth boys have spent in their own half, kei roto I tō rātou haurua, ka whana tawhiti, tēnei whana. He's going to try a long kick, I'd imagine, to try and keep it down their end of the field, as they spend a lot of time in their own half. Good first up carry by the number 8, who is Isaiah Edwards, but equal to the challenge were the Jacklers. They got the man to the ground and managed to get over their ball faster than the support players from Hamilton boys could get there. One of the trends I'm starting to see in some of the whutuporo mō ngā kura tuarua, ka āta haere ngā kai tautoko I te tangata e rutu ana. So we're seeing often the player that's not actually the tackler, the second player, actually slowing down the supporting player getting to the ball. And so that's giving the jackler a better chance to get his hands on it. And so just what New Plymouth boys are needing. Tāpiri atu ētahi piro I tō rātou Tauranga. And off the posts it goes. And good carry there by the number 2, I think it was, or number 5, Bushell. Massive punt down, nice and high. Put some pressure on the tackler. Perfectly timed tackle there. He rawe te tatari a te kai ārai. And te ai, te kōrero a te kai wawao. Ka taka ia ki runga I te papa. He's fallen to ground there as he's gone over that ruck. Which is lucky because he was a little bit isolated there. The tackler came through and it was well timed because as soon as that foot touched the ground from the New Plymouth Boys player, the young man from Hamilton, Kiri Roa, Rotorua. Now, New Plymouth in a good position for a drive now. We'll see how slick their line-out throw is and then gathering up to put them all together. And they realign to the back of the line-out. And they didn't even let that man really get fully down before they hit onto the back of him, which has affected the power that they're able, and some big defence coming in by Hamilton boys. But New Plymouth, kia u tonu rātou, ki te kakari. And as that goes to ground, they're going to look to spread it now. And some fast defence getting up, and they've managed to hold them up. And he's pointed out one of the players there, mai te tima o Kirikiri Roa. Ball in hand now is with number 10. Bastian Lalamund. And they're going to have another go at it. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the back of the line out again here. There we go, same man again, they're not competing. And they might need a few more players in there because that ruck defence seems to be going pretty well. It's come to the back there and the Kirikiri Roa halfback, ka tāhai te pōro I te rāwa. And Hamilton boys will now look to clear this. E whakawātea I tēnei pōro, he tino kaha tōna whana I te pōro. Engari ka tauki waho he whana pai tērā. Te kau mā rima miniti, ko oti I tēnei kēmu. Rima ki te kore, ta te tauranga. And a couple of times now, we've seen the New Plymouth boys with an opportunity to drive over, but not quite having the kaha necessary. Some good clearing work done there by the New Plymouth boys. Once again, and again, good defence coming through. Oh, a few metres being made there. Oh, these Karuta no. And as they spread it in the hands of the number 13, I think it was there, Elisara. And almost jackling their ball. Straight into a big brick wall there was the number 6, I think it was, Nichols. And shifting it out to the open space now. But the defence are up to the challenge. It was 14. Wipiti. Oh, some quick defence getting up. Is there an opportunity on the outside? No, takes it into contact. Big hit going in there from the number 13, Cyrus Mark, on the number 1, Ratu. Or was it Samuel Graham? Samuel Graham, that is, with the big carry. Just picked up the ball and a hit. Solid hit on him. Yeah, he tino kaha te patu I aia. Ka whakaritea te nonoke. Na tori te kau mā rima. Ngā mita ki te Rārangi piro a Kirikiri roa. Ka whāngaia a te nama iwa anō. Heath Sheehan ki te nonoke. Good carry off the back as he isolated. Good carry again by the number 2, Nate Werder. Almost a gap through, but picked up better than number 15. Botherway. Oh, good steal there. They're just not managing quite to find the necessary gaps to get through this defensive line of Kirikiriroa. Kāre he wā wāhi I te rārangi ārai. Ka tai atu te tima no ngā motu ki te kokona o Kirikiriroa anō. Ākoa nei ka kite I te kaha o tō rātou kōkiri. Another opportunity for a maul here, and they go to that same tactic, and it doesn't look like Hamilton's actually competing for the ball. I'm not sure if that was the script, but New Plymouth with ball in hand again, slips the one tackle, goes to ground, but is able to get back up again and go without being held. And that's the number 8 with the carry, blue headgear, Kay Davis. And looking for the quick tap and go is the young halfback there, Sheehan, aroha mai, Lalamond. And so he'll take another go at the kick, hoping to level up these scores a little bit more. And that one, ka rere ki te taha MΑORI. And one's flown off to the left, I think, that time. So back to te whanataka. Kei te rārangi ruatakau mārua. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they look to go long here, because once they got down that end of the field, it's been hard for the New Plymouth boys to bring it back. Good chase and defence, but also equally good step by the number 8 there, Davis, and this time got a little bit isolated. And maybe because of his good step and him getting through that gap, that the support wasn't quite able to get to him that time, young Davis. Cade, that is. And as they make their way down to about 35 metres out, ka whakaritea te rārangi paitaha. Kei roto I te ringa te namarua anō, Hunter Hammond with this throw-in. And tapped back by the number 4, Malakai Hala. But because the Hamilton boys got up a jumper, the referees deemed it not straight. Now, if there was no jumper competing, it would have carried on. So always a good idea, if it's not necessary, to get a jumper up at least to compete. And they go for the up and under here. Different tactic, trying to use that sun into the eyes. It's a single man chasing. Good return on the carry by the number 10, I think it was. Patience Tuapola. Now the up and under, and great take. Took him in the air, but he bounced off. And fantastic run here by the number Not sure what number that was, but the chaser coming through. And was it knocked forward? High speed, high danger. And as the new Plymouth boys try and counter-ruck, they look to try and keep them down here. There's a good pod of players from Kirikiriroa set up. And are they going to look to run it here? Solid decision. Clear it. And the chaser is on. If that ball had stayed in, it might have been an interesting story. But from one end to the other, a great take and then explosion of speed out. Te tere o tērā tama. E hopu kina ana I tērā poro mai te rungararo, the up and under. Nō reira ka whakarita anō. And trying the trick, trying to get the quick throw in. And that peel to the back again. But they're keeping that front jumper ready. I reckon might go to the back this time. Called it wrong. Here we go. Good carry there by the number 8. Quick pick and go there. Defender was on him, but an equally good support clearing player. Whakawātea I te kakari. Oh, interesting. Open pathway for him. Good step on the young number 11 there. Carson Hunter. Up quickly in the defence is that number 8 from New Plymouth, Davis. And trying to keep it in play. It looks like it's come off the back of a Hamilton player. And so New Plymouth with the opportunity. Where we were about 35 metres out. 30 metres out from the New Plymouth boys try line. And the Suns come out to the party. It said there's a good game of rugby happening. So out come the rays of sunshine. And we've actually seen the handling improve over the last few minutes, in fact. Big carry there by the number 8. Looking for the offloads. Loads. And a good carry by the young man that took the deep kick before. Solid carry by the number 4, I think it was. And he's going to look to put it down long. Not too much luck up the middle. The up and under's taken easily there by, I think it's number 15, Botherway. And he didn't allow the player to release the ball. He's asking the question. You see with his hands there, I'm a pretty good body language reader. 2 hands in the air, says, I didn't know what I did wrong. I thought I was in the right spot there, referee. So looking to clear now and get into an attacking position. And that is not a bad kick. Down to the 22. He would have liked it. Kare e kore. Te noratana ia ki te whana ki te kokona. Engari kari I te tuki I tēnei wā. Now, Hamilton have gone to the back of the line out a number of times there. Number 4 was the last receiver, and that was Malakai Hala, but it wasn't straight. So I wouldn't be surprised now they move to the front. It's the beauty when you call it as a commentator and it doesn't come true. Show and go there, and the go didn't quite go because the big shoulder came in from the new Plymouth Boys High School player and shut it down. Didn't quite catch a number on that young fella. A long kick down. Beautifully taken again, not too much pressure on the receiving end of it. But I've spotted a little opening down that left-hand side, ki te taha MΑORI. And there's that fullback following up in support. Botherway, quick offload there, Nordstrom, but he's found a brick wall in the shoulder of one of those new Plymouth players. And there could be another opening here, little offloads going. Is there an opening in the opposite side? Man's got a bit of space in front of him, but good defence. And they're going to try and take him over the line, and that's exactly what they do. They're going to pat each other on the back, as they should. Some good effort there shown by both sides, one end of the field to the other. As we heard there, Corday doing some good mahi out there. Front of the line out it goes. New Plymouth ball in hand. Little opening there. And great carry by the number 13, I think it was. Wesley Elisara. I'll make sure, no, sorry, Aroha Mike, Jermaine Matic. Jermaine Matic found himself in a big open space there, and they'll be absolutely stoked about that result. It was a good first up carry by the first 5, and then offloaded it to the number 12 there, and over he goes. Miharo katoa. Nō reira, ka whakaritea te nama takau mā te kau. Te tāpiri atu, te whanatapiri. Bastion. Ai, whakai ana ngā hauawau tautoko I tērā wā. And that was against the flow of the game, so great work. Rawe te mahi a tērā tima no ngā motu. And he just seems to find that little gap in between the ngā motu players there. Werder with the throw in here. We've seen quite a number of lineouts this game, looking for the comfort of the sideline. Here's that number 8, the big carry, but an equally good defence there. And that number 8 from Hamilton Boys, Isaiah Edwards, showing some good strength to wrestle the ball. A little bit casual into that carry midfield. I reckon it's one of those spaces where you don't want to be giving them any chance of taking the ball, so solid into the carry. Sheehan to feed. Clearing to his right. Looking for the little chip and chase. Interesting one, and there's that try scorer from before. He's going to look to find some support. And the wheels on the wing there. Corday, number 14, I think it is. And bouncing shoulder, o te nama te kaumarua Cullen Parai. Long ball out, looking for the space, drops his head. He says, I'll be happy with the few metres that I made. Out to the right this time, ki te taha matau a ka taka te poro. Nō reira, harikoa na ngā taitamatani o kirikiri roa, nā te mea ko taka te poro. Ahua pau te hau a te tamarā pea. Koera te take I kāre I mau I te poro I tērā wā. The referee just having a quick look at the watch there. And with the feed, whanga here te nonoke. Oh, almost coming away with something there. And he would have been away, but there was already a knock on and they were playing advantage. So nothing comes about it this time. Interesting. He's run it all the way down and he's left the ball at the try line, and then the refs and the touch judges have said, go and grab the ball. Which is interesting. We don't see that too often. So here we are at the about 42 metres out from the Kirikiriroa line. Big scrum there, big push coming in from New Plymouth. Yeah. Pehi nui tēnā. O e rawe te kawe a tērā tama anō te kaumārua. Ko e atu ko Jermaine Maddock. Probably just a bit of a brain explosion there from the number 8, but opportunities now in front, and fleet feet of that player there from New Plymouth as they look to the right. Big lineup of defense, but he's going to try and work his way forward. The tackler gets nice and low. The defender gets nice and low. Again, swinging it to the taha maui. And looking for the little wipers kick. Interesting. They're finding the defense of the Kirikiriroa team a little bit impenetrable at the moment. So they're looking to try out some other options. And they're going to look to convert this one and hope for the 3 points. That'll take it to a 10-5 game if he can manage that. And there's been plenty of excitement in the game so far. Not too big of a score. Bastien Lelamond lining it up. And this time he's recalibrated the scopes and he converts that one, taking it to 10 points to 5. And that will probably bring us to the end of the first half. Thank you very much for joining this first half. We'll come back with more action. Akua nei, 10-5, te kau ki te rima.
Kei te ngaro haere au ki roto ki tēnei ao Pākehā.
Ko tā te waka ma he whakakaha I taku hononga ki te ao Māori.
Ka whai take aku whea ko Pauri, hei whakamana I taku ana mata.
Mā tō raura ki MāORI Plus. Well, I can't wait any longer. You know my love is on fire. Oh, yeah. Come on and give it to me.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in it. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
What makes Bailey's altogether better? It's the energy we bring to every home, every commercial property, every investment, every development, and every farm. Because when the energy is right, you can feel it. Bailey's, altogether better.
You might know us as rugby players.
Or that out-the-gate couple that pop up on your socials.
But what you might not know, holy shit, we're about to have a baby. We need help.
You need help, I'm alright.
Sheree and Gillies ki Māori plus me whakaata Māori.
Hey. Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
Hey, Tefano, look who's in the house. From the park to the city, stories told our way. Stream it, cast it, carry it with you. Download MāORI Plus on your devices.
Nau mai anō, ki tēnei kemu, kei wainga nui ia kirikiri roa, me ngā taitamatane o ngā motu. Welcome back, 10 points to 5. Exciting first half, end to end it went. And even though there was some good defensive pressure put in by the boys from Kirikiri Roa, new Plymouth boys getting it up and able to get that 10 to 5. One converted try and a penalty, taking New Plymouth to 10 points, and Hamilton boys on Rima, 5 points, and they were off. Long kick down, picked up in the 22 there. By I think it's the number 15, Botherway, and they look to clear. And that's actually a really good clearance kick from the back there. Wow, very well done. So, first line out of the second half, te rārangi paitaha, tuatahi o tēnei hawhe. He tere rawa tō rātou whiu I te poro. It was a very quick throw-in, didn't give the opportunity for the opposition to prepare themselves much. Good double-up tackle there. Young number 9 swinging the ball out to that far side. There's Wapiti. And good defence over the ball, but unfortunately not able to hold it as the tackler came in there. Mai te tima o ngā motu ki te rutu I aia. Ka taka te poro, whakamua. And so you can see there, ka pātai te pātai, ki kaiwa wau, asking the question. And so at about 40 metres out, and you can hear some coaching coming in. I wouldn't be surprised at this point in the field they're going to put the kick down to try and get some percentage, play some percentage rugby. He goes straight into a brick wall of defense, but he's a good ball runner and he keeps it in play. Oh, wonderful run here, and manages to evade the first defender, and as the tackle goes back, Ball's still in play. Who's come up with it? It is in the hands of Ngamotu this time. And he's right on the ball there. That was the number 7, I think it was. Tom Foote, the captain. Indeed it was. Good effort over the ball. After a brilliant run down there, this close touch line to make plenty of room, was the number 14, I think. No, sorry, was the number 11, Zach Revel. After the commentator said, "You're going to kick it," they said, "No, sirree, Bob, we're going to run it." And run it they did, pulling off plenty of meters. Hammond with the throw here. They're going to go to the back. Ha ha ha, as he calls it wrong again. Steaming onto their ball, bumps off one, looks for the offload, and he's found some space there. But a good tackle brings him to ground. Nobody's on him at the moment. And they're looking for options. Number 4 with the ball. Big carry, number 16 into the game. Dion Fifita. Ooh, big tackle going in there. I think it was number 5, Jai Mayer. And number 9 looks for a little snipe, but the gap's closed. Getting up very quickly there and shutting down that momentum. Carrying now by Tevita Halauafu. Another big carry again, Dion Fifita this time. Isaiah Edwards that time. And the referee has seen something in there. Number 1. Interesting decision here. Going to go and look at the sideline. They have had success in the first half. E waimari e rātau I te haurua tuatahi. I te rātu kokona. No reira ka whakarite anō ki te kakari. The kakari being our ruck. Rarangi Paitaha being our line out. I'm not even going to call it. I've called it wrong so many times now. So they prepare this kakari and straight through the middle it goes. But it's brought to ground, so they'll set themselves up and they'll just try and work their way into getting near the line without handing over the ball. And he's made it there. The young number 16 from Hamilton Boys, Dion Fifita. And it's a solid unit, is Fifita. E tino kaha te hanga a tērā tama. A ka whakaritea a tēnā matikau mā rima Jackson Botherway ki te whana I tēnei whana tapiri. About 10 metres in from the sideline. Not too much wind there, but the scopes didn't quite collaborate correctly on that occasion, and it's faded away to that right-hand side ki te taha matau. Kua piki aki te nama o ngā kaitautuku I te tahara. There's a few more supporters coming out now with the rain subsiding. No reira. 10 plays 10. Interesting game here. E te whānau. Longer down to the middle of the field. And he spots a gap. But he also gets a player on him at the same time. Good first carry though, bringing him up to nearing the halfway. 45 metres out. They're going to look to put it back down. Maybe a 50-22 is exactly what he goes for. Fantastic kick. And you can hear a few Hamilton Kirikiriroa supporters in the crowd, letting them know their appreciation for the effort shown there. And after that last effort, having a bit of a chat amongst the forwards, ka kōrero tahi rātou, hea ha te rautaki tēnei wā, hea te prēne. As they go to the middle of the line out and swing it to the backs there, having a straight solid run. No mucking around there by the midfielders. And quick shift of the ball. And unfortunately it's popped out depending on which side of the fence you sit on. Fortunate for New Plymouth boys. Unfortunate for the Hamilton supporters. Just popping out of the man there from Kirikiriroa tēnā mā tekau mā whetū tēnā. And there's a few ringa ki te hope. There's a few hands on hips, which shows the intensity of this first 8 minutes of the game. And whāngai at the poro. And number 8 off the back of the scrum. A good 5, 6, 7 metres found there. And te whana runga raro. Oh! Amaira watu. Interesting to see what the call is here. Callers, I think, head high there. They must have been playing advantage when they did the kick. So the call sticks there. They're going to carry on with the it's a very big gap in between those two lines there. A little bit too long and no one at the back to tidy that up. Carried now by last man in the lineup. Swinging it down to this left-hand side. That same boy from before. Play! And as we heard from the sideline, perhaps high. Ref is playing advantage, I think. And probably a good idea too, because it looks like they've got a little bit of a rumble on at the moment. They'll bring it back. And that was a high tackle on the previous try scorer, I think it was, Dion Fifita. So I wouldn't be surprised if they look to the corner, set up their drive again, which they've had successful with in the first half. Wai mari e rātou I te hau rua tuatahi me tērā nonoke. Aroha mai kakari. Ko te kupu, tō mātou kupu mo te rolling maul. Oh, wonderful one-arm take there. Rawe te mau I te poro me tōna ringa kotahi. And there's a big opening down this right-hand side, left-hand side. And slamming it down with authority is... I think it's the number 8. Couldn't quite catch the number there. think it was either Tom Foote or Isaiah Edwards. Ka rongo mātou I te karanga ngā kai, ngā kai ako. Ko tai mai etahi tāngata hou ki runga I te papatākaro. Oh, he rau e te whana. Nō reira, tāpiri anō ngā piro e rua. Te kau ki te kau mā whitu, I te tauranga I nai nei. Whitu piro kei mua. Kirikiri roa I nai nei. And indeed, they put it down and try to look to get their ball back. It's pushed backwards. And they're going to play on advantage being played here. And they'll bring it back to the first knock-on. And the New Plymouth Boys, ngā taitamatane o ngā motu, e tino pakanga ana kia rātou, nā te mea kāre rātou, e tino hihia ki te hoki ki roto I o rātou hawhi anō. They're not going to want to let this Hamilton Boys team get out of their half easily. I'm going to try and put up a good defensive effort to keep them down here and keep their pressure on to try and level up these scores. The back of the ruck, scrum, sorry, te nonoke. And some good inter-passing there. Oh, good footwork, looks for the offload, gets it. Chip and chase over the top. Is it going to stay in? No, but it puts them in a very difficult position now. The young men from New Plymouth, all the pressure straight back on them with a beautiful run there off the back of the scrum. Mai tērā tama o kirikiri roa ko Isaiah Edwards tērā. E kawai ana I te poro. And in again very quickly. As he looks up, he saw the number 9 had shot off, shutting down his passing options. And unfortunately, they've just gone straight down to ground according to the referee, and so it's a penalty. And this is an easy relief for boys from Ngāmotu, because they would have been worried otherwise. Instead, they get a clearing and they get the line-out feed. As they wait for the ball to re-arrive, the call goes through. Ki te tikape, the hooker. And they sit at the front, and then they come back to the middle. It's going to the back of the line out. No, it's not. And interesting hold there. Held on the throw. Fortunate for the New Plymouth Boys team that Hamilton Boys got up off the line early, and so a penalty comes the way of New Plymouth Boys. He's got the chance now, the young number 10, I think it was, Lelamon, to clear. Go to the back this time and set up for a bit of a maul. No, giving it early. And brilliant stand-up tackle by the number 13, I think it was, from Hamilton Boys, Cyrus Mark. And he certainly marked his player well there and shut down the momentum, any momentum that they had. Oh, looking for the intercept. The defender got up quick, snappy. E tere rawa tōna Neke Hokamua. And the big man now goes to ground. Luckily he was clearing players there. As he shifts it, looking for the space this time. And unfortunately straight over the sideline. Ka puta te pōroki waho. And the sprightly energy is not there. Well, it wasn't there until I saw that runner come through. Plenty of energy there on that carry over the advantage line. And that's a high one, beautifully timed again by the tackler. He hasn't got too much support with him, but they managed to stay in the game. And an opening comes up now. He's going to carry on down the sideline, unable to keep it inside. And that is a brilliant tackle by the number 7 there, Tom Foote, who is the captain. And there's a bit of biffo going on left and right, which we don't condone. And at this point in time, we're going to go and say thank you to our sponsors, because our sponsors, without them being here supporting this kaupapa, we wouldn't be able to bring you this kaupapa. So the likes of Caltex and Whakaata MāORI, Nativa, Anchor, Apollo Projects, and Bailey's. Referee having a bit of a cordial with both of the captains. And asked the question where Caltex as well. Have a bit of a corridor as to where the last infringement happened. And is it back to the line out? Yes, it is. With Hamilton feed. 19 minutes. Te kau mā iwa miniti. Ko pahure I tēnei kēmu. Nō reira, rima te kau mā rima miniti e toi ana ki roto I tēnei kēmu. Oh, interesting movement. Big hit coming in there. And great follow-up on the tackle there. Good pressure. And opening now, perhaps down that right-hand side. Good offload. And footwork shown there. Good support to protect their ball. Goes out the back. They're going to try and get it long. The defenders are up quickly, but managed to get it over the top of them there. As the ball goes to ground, there's some counter-rucking going on, and they might have just done enough. But have they lost all of their supporters? All of those players that were on the ball on the ground for Hamilton now get back to their feet, and a counter-ruck again. And the referee has back turned for the moment. And so number 17 thought, yes, the ball's here. Tavita thought, I'll pick it up and have a go. But unfortunately, he wasn't in the onside position, so the referee's going to give the ball to Plymouth Boys High. Ngāmotu with the opportunity to release a little bit of pressure. And that takes them to about 42 metres out from their line. It's still anyone's game. Yeah, kare kore. Kare I tino kaha etahi o ngā tīma. Āhua tautika ngā kapa erua. And clearing it out to the backs to give him a run. There's that centre again. He had a good carry in the first half to score the try. And feeding it again to the left. Ki te taha Maui. And recycling the ball well. And speed down that left-hand edge. Anyone with him? They managed to recycle it again. They're certainly finding gaps in the defence of the Kirikiriroa players. And clean out comes. But the defence is getting up to the challenge. There's that young man again, pops through. He's a hard one to put away. He's demonstrated it multiple times now, and they're going to run straight back over their mates. Looking to get the ball clear. There it is for the halfback again. Another strong run by the number 3, I think it was. Graham. There he is again. Graham with the carry. Comes into a brick wall again, but he might have got too high there. He's going to have to work his way to the ground. Yes, he does that. Sheehan tells the forwards, haere tonu e hoa mā, tēnō tata rātou ki te rārangi piro I nai nei, mō reira ka anga whakamua rātou, ka whai rātou I etahi wehenga kei wainga nui ngā kai ārai, ka hoa tutuporo ki a Graham anō, a te wā, ka pakaru mai tērā ara, engari kāo, ka tāhai a tama a Kirikiriroa I te poro, engari tuā ka taka ki te papa, kei reira, te poro, ka tau te poro ki te papa. He tino hikina I te hihiri kei wainga nui e nei tima. O reira, ākoa nei ka kite, ka whakatautika hia I e nei tatauranga. I nai nei, te kaumā rima ki te kaumā whitu. Me tau mahatanga ki runga I tēnei kai whana. Tāpiri atu I tēnei, ko te kaumā tahi tēnā. Jack Hurley, ka whana, pehea, e waimari e ia, ka hiki ngā haki. Te pai ana ngā kaiwa wao tautoko, I aia. We have got a game on our hands, haven't we, E Te Whānau? 17 plays 17.
Kei te ngaro haere au ki roto ki tēnei ao Pākehā.
Ko tā te waka ma he whakakaha I taku hononga ki te ao Māori.
Ka whaitake aku whiako pauri hei whakamana I taku ana mata.
Mā tō raurau ki MāORI Plus. Well, I can't wait any longer. You know my love is on fire. Oh, yeah. Come on and give it to me.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us.
Nau mai anō e Hoama, kia aroha mai I tēnei hakapāha. Nā reo te mohia hea te take, engari. Kei kone mātou anō, ho he rau e te kawe a tērā pōro, mai te tamara, o kirikiri roa. And lovely carry there. Oh, beautiful tackle. And the ref's going to take us back. Oh, good bit of sportsmanship shown there. Beautiful to see. Even though both of these teams neck and neck, there's still a moment of solidarity for the young players, and he helps his compatriot up there. So good on Napier Boys, New Plymouth Boys, sorry. And ball in hand of our number 15 now, who is Botherway with the clearing kick. Whoa. Beautifully done to keep it in play. And just like that, rather than getting a line out in the 22, it comes back to the halfway. They'll still get the feed to the line out though. Will Hamilton boys. And as the conversation happens where the ball will end up in this line out. 7 minutes to go, not a lot of time, but enough. You would think if there's any penalties that happen, a time for a shot to go up. And nice reach there and pick up by the number 9. Good solid carry, but finds a defensive player that doesn't want to move. Oh, he rau. Taka te poro, whakamua, whakamua te poro. Kei roko I te ringo o tērā tama kaha ki te kawi te poro. And into the opposition halfway now. But he was playing advantage for the offside. Tu hapa, that's offside at the final. That's our kupu that we're going to use. Tu hapa. Moreira, will he look to get a shot at goal here? It is a long shot. 45 metres out. You're going to look to the halfback. First 5, and he's going to look to the corner. They're going all money in. And he finds the sideline. About 30 metres out. A little bit too far out for the rolling ball here. But they'll want to keep the pressure down here and look to get some numbers on the board and tip the balance. And to the front it goes. They had that one jumper there just ready to go. One jumper, one lifter. And he's able to get up enough and upset that. Careful balance. Now is he going to get some interest on that last one? No, he's not. They're asking the question, why did it go all the way back? Because they took the ball from outside the 22 back into their 22 when they made the kick. So, a fantastic opportunity now. Mō ngā taitamatane o ngā motu, te kawe atu te poro ki te rarangi piro. Ka takari, kei te haere. Nā, ka taranga. Ka taka, kei roto I kona. And they're going to look to go long here. Bit of a wiper's kick. Can he catch this one? It's just gone about a metre too far. And so they'll come back again. Will they look to do a tap and go move? Or they're going to look to the corner again. In the Super Rugby competition that we've been seeing over the last few weeks, there's a lot more tap and go moves being seen. So again, another chance. to convert this pressure into points. And straight to the middle. That one goes a little bit too far. And looking for the clearing kick, and there it goes. But it's set up in the middle of the field. Plenty of opportunities still for running. And that's what we see down their left-hand side. Good tackle made. And Kirikiriroa getting on the ball. And they're going to look to clear again. And not finding too much grass on the clearance kick, but they didn't score, so that's all that the Hamilton boys will be happy about. E rua me te hawhi miniti, e toi ana I tēnei kēmu. 2.5 minutes to go in this game. Not a lot of time. They'll have a bit of a kōrero about what's needed at this point. The ref's calling them in. Hey, you fellas can't have a hui for too long. We need some dui. Enough of the hui. And they go to the front. No, reassess. They've still got their tall jumper at the front. If they go middle of the line out, it's just gone a little bit too far again. Picked up by Hamilton. Kirikiriroa with the front foot at the moment. Looking to move it. They're still in their own 22. I'm not sure running it out from that part of the field is the best thing, but they're going to put it in the mix. It was knocked forward there, so they could be playing advantage. Oh, he's found himself a little pathway there. My little chip and chase might be on. Gives the ball on the inside. The bounce of the ball comes the way of Ngāmotu. Bounces forward, comes off the foot, knocks it forward. Oh, it's pinball, Etifano. It's pinball. He's going to take the knock on from Hamilton boys. And in the same process, the young fellow just about loses his taro, but stays in play. That could have gone either way, Whānau, and with 1 minute to go, it could have been the decider. At the halfway with the feed to the scrum, Hamilton are going to want to put a big push on here and try and upset the solid front forward motion that Kirikiriroa hasn't had for a while. Napier boys have had a little bit of supremacy in the scrum, I think, so far. Got a new halfback onto the field for Napier, New Plymouth, sorry. Nō reira, ka whangaia ia I te nonoke, ka whiu atu, ka maka atu ki te nama. O, he tino kaha tōna kawi te pōro anō, tērā tama a Matic. And then number 4 with the carry again, number 3, sorry, Graham. High ball, manages to rein it in, Sinclair that is. Big hits coming in. But another good carry there. And they're going to want to settle down. They're inside the 50-metre. Bring it back. Solid carry again. There's a man over the ball. He's come off his feet. Same again. Any stoppage now would probably bring us to the end of the game. Can't get his feet to ground. Pops it out the back. Kawe tonu ana a Kirikiriroa I te poro. Engari, tino kaha. Ngā ārai, ngā rutu, ngā taitamatane o Ngāmotu. Ka titiro ki te taha mauī I tēnei wā. And looks at the outside, flicks it back in. Still going, number 19 with the ball in hand, Ethan Hyatt this time. And they're slowly making their way up the field. They're in a drop kickable position. Oh, the pace of the man 21, I think that was. Ben Ward. Kirikiriroa with the try. E rawe te oma ngā taitamatane o Kirikiriroa I te rawa. Wow, what a way to finish the game from 50 metres out. The cracks started to open, unfortunately, in the defence of New Plymouth Boys. They had the win in their sights, and some beautiful passing by the boys from Hamilton, managing to get themselves up by 5 points. And I don't think there's going to be time for a kickoff after this. This will be the last moments of the game. Mihi ana ki ngā kaitākaro katoa I tēnei kēmu. Icing on the cake, and that will take us to the end. 24 points to 17. What a matchup we've seen here today. Neck and neck all the way to the end, with the last try coming in on the hooter. E te whānau, it's been a pleasure bringing you this game. Nei rā te mihi atu ki a koutou, nō reira kua oti wa mātou mahi I tēnei rā, ki ngā kaiwhakahaere me ngā kaiwhakataitai, kia haumaru tā koutou. Hoki ngā ki o koutou kāinga, tēnā koutou ngā kai mātakitaki I tā koutou tūhono mai. Noho ora mai.